So I'm on Facebook, and of course, the verdict came down today regarding Bill Cosby. So a lot of people were talking about it. A lot of people were upset. A lot of people kind of were like, oh, well, that's on him. Um, what I don't understand is the mentality that, hey, it's unfair that he's being punished for a crime when there's other people who did the same crime and they were not punished. To me, it's like, or the people that's like, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. Cosby was going to buy NBC, and I actually thought this at one time. At this point, I don't care whether he was going to buy NBC or not. Um, it's like, do you believe in justice or not? Because if you really believed in justice, the only thing that would matter is, did he do the things that he was accused of? And if he did do the things he was accused of, he should be punished for it. He should be given the appropriate penalty. Um, has, regardless of what somebody else did and didn't get punished for, regardless of why he's being targeted. Justice is someone getting the punishment that they deserve. That's justice. So I don't care if I don't care if this whole thing was caked up by Klan members, the leaders of the Klan, and they all orchestrated this from day one. If he did what they claimed that he did, then he deserves the penalty for that. That's justice. Justice doesn't change based on someone else may have a vested interest in him receiving punishment or not receiving punishment. That's not justice. And I see people kind of wanting him to be not guilty simply because they like him. That's not justice either. What about the victims? All right. What about all the other people involved? That's just not how justice works. And I would love for one of you people who think that way. I would love for you to be involved in a court case where you were the one that was wronged, to have that mentality. Let's say, can you imagine you going to court, right? You going to court for, someone stole your car and you were testifying because you were a witness, you saw it or whatever. Suppose that judge or that jury or whoever, suppose the judge said, you know what? It looks like this person did it. Sir, madam, we got you your car. We're going to get you your car back. What do you want me to do with this person? Are you going to say, well, no, because don't do nothing, Your Honor, because there are white people halfway across the country who stole cars and they didn't go to jail. So this person who stole my car shouldn't go to jail. Are you going to say that? Or let's talk about Bill Cosby. Rape. If someone drugged your daughter and slept with your daughter, whether she was with it or not, right? If somebody did terrible things to your daughter and the judge wants to know, you pick the sentence. I have a range here. You pick between probation and 20 years or whatever. And he turns to you as the parent and says, what do you want? Are you going to say, well, this person who assaulted my daughter only deserves a slap on the wrist because white people somewhere else didn't have to suffer a true penalty. So this person here shouldn't have to suffer a penalty. You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say anything like that. And if you heard a defendant on the stand saying that kind of thing, well, this is just a conspiracy because I'm black or I'm a colored person. And, the only reason why y'all saying I raped this person is, because of a conspiracy and this isn't fair. I shouldn't have to go to jail because some white person somewhere else was found not guilty and they really did it. So y'all need to be consistent and let me go. You would, if the courts did that while you were seeking justice for a loved one, you would probably kill that person. Might even try to kill the judge. But yet, when it comes to someone else, when it comes to this whole Bill Cosby thing, when it comes down to any black person, any black celebrity who gets in trouble, your view of justice completely changes. It completely changes. And this is why I always say, can you be consistent? Can you be consistent? Because you can't have a different set of rules for yourself than the rest of society. That's not how life works. And if you wouldn't accept that kind of stuff, if it happened to you, if you wouldn't accept that kind of defense or that kind of justification, then you shouldn't allow, or you shouldn't extend that to no one else, because you wouldn't take it yourself. It's like, if you're wronged, you don't care what the color of the person is. You don't want to hear no excuses. You want justice. You want things made right. But when it's a black celebrity, you don't, it's kind of like you don't want justice. When it comes to a black celebrity, you don't want justice. What you really want is for that person to win the case, whether they're guilty or not. And that's not good for the black community. That's not good for the society. To root for someone just because of their skin color and not based off of whether or not they actually did what they're accused of. Basically, that's basically like saying you're okay with more criminals being out on the street because they're black. And you're okay with, you would be more okay with more innocent white people going to jail just because they're white. Just trying to, I don't know if that's supposed to be some kind of weird balance thing or what. But I just don't understand how you can demand justice when you have such a crazy sliding scale that changes the meaning of justice when it's convenient to you. That's not good for society. And that's why society ever fails, because that's why justice never prevails in society, because if it's okay for you to define justice in a way that's convenient for you, then it's okay for everybody else. And you can't get mad when everyone else defines justice in a way that's convenient for them, even though you don't like it, because they're just doing the same thing that you're doing. Look, the bottom line in any given case is, does the evidence match the accusations? That's it. Doesn't matter what somebody else did halfway across the country. Doesn't matter what some white person did. It doesn't matter what some rich person did. All that matters in terms of justice is, does the evidence support the accusations? And if it does, then let justice be done, whether they're black, white, male, female, whatever. Because a consistent level of justice is the foundation for a stable society. If you take that away, then you promote lawlessness. And because obviously you're going to root for people to not be held accountable when they should be. But then on the other side of that is, you're going to have justice not being done. And you're going to have people who have been wronged taking the law into their own hands and exacting their own kind of justice, which is a form of lawlessness as well. So this whole idea of, I'm just going to root for people simply because they're black, or simply because I like this person. If I'm going to, change, if I'm going to shape justice into basically to fit whatever I want to happen, then you can't get mad if rich people do it. You can't get mad if white people do it. You can't get mad if anyone else does it. And I just don't understand how ridiculous people have gotten with this kind of thing.